What's up, YouTube? Ultimate Shield 340 back at again with another Division 2 video. So apologies for taking so long on uploading a brand new video to YouTube in quite some time. You know, real life stuff and all the things. But this is not what you're here for. If you've clicked on the video, like, share, subscribe, and all the things, and we'll get into it. So with the new investor mask brought to Division 2, I believe that it has now solved a big issue to one of my favorite gear sets in the game called Heartbreaker. As you can see here, this is the build that I have here, and I'll sort of explain each piece one by one. The Investor Mask is the new mask that you get for this season. It is available in the free track, so you can just go ahead and get it once you level up enough in the game. Once you get the mask, you should also be able to get the blueprint and then craft it. Now, I got really lucky with this roll. I wanted all blues, which is exactly what you see here on my right. It took me a lot of rolls, so just be careful that if you are trying to make this build, it is going to cost you a lot unless you are blessed by the RNG god, so just heads up. So this is the Investor Mask. This is the rolls that I have, and this is what it does. It has the slotted talent. It says receive bonuses for each non-core attribute on this item depending on their color. If it's red, you get 10% critical hit damage. If it's yellow, 5% skill efficiency. Blue is plus 1% skill regen. This item can feature any core attribute. This item features a third random attribute instead of having a gear mod slot. This item cannot feature the headshot damage, health, or skill repair attributes. So what exactly does that mean? As you can see, these three attributes here are roll blue: explosive resistance, hazard protection, and armor regen. Each of those are blue cores. So for each one of those blue cores, I get 1% armor regen. And as you can see, because I have the three, I have 3% armor regen with a blue core. Now, with this mask, it's in fact the only exotic that I can think of where it could literally roll with any core. It can either run with a damage core, blue core, skill core, or three random red, yellow, or blue attributes. I got extremely lucky and was able to get these three to help make the build. In this way, because it now has this one piece has the 3% armor regen on this build, it has now effectively saved me a lot of trouble to figure out additional survivability on this build. One thing about Heartbreaker, I enjoy this set because of the bonus stacks that you get for bonus armor that you get whenever you shoot pulse enemies, which we'll talk about here shortly. One of the weaknesses of the gear set is that once you build those bonus armor, and the enemies will inevitably chew through that armor and actually get down into your actual health pool, your armor pool, I guess, armor health pool. The problem is that at that point, Heartbreaker falls short in the sense that you do not have a way to regain your base armor on top of the bonus armor. And so in order to address that, this is where the Investor Mask came in and is a great help to this build, which I believe is one of the best ways to run this set. So we'll talk about Heartbreaker here in a second. 15% armor assault rifle damage, 15% LMG damage, plus 15% weapon handling, headshots apply pulse for 5 seconds. Weapon hits on pulse enemies add a stack of plus 1% bonus armor and plus 1.1% weapon damage to pulse enemies up to a max of 50 stacks. 2 stacks are lost each second. Now, because I'm running the chest talent, which is max BPM, increases max stacks for Heartstopper from 50 to 100. So I get double the weapon damage and double the stacks on the weapon talent, like the damage. So then I'm also running the backpack, which you can also see as well. It also has the cold talent, increases total bonus armor gain per stack of Heartstopper from 1% to 2%, meaning that it will more than double the amount of armor that you get at base. I have rolled blue core, 3 blues on this one to get the 3% armor regen, as I stated before. 1 red core, critical hit chance, critical hit damage. Another red core, critical weapon, critical hit chance, critical hit damage. 1 red core, blue core, critical hit chance. Then I have this with the Seska, which is the critical hit chance, 8%, 15% weapon damage, 6% critical hit chance, 12% critical hit damage, with the last blue piece being here with the knee pads with this here. So this is the build. I also am running the Lexington for health damage and then damage to target out of cover with the flatline talent, which amplifies weapon damage to fit by 15% to pulse enemies after 4 kills. Applies pulse the next enemy you hit. If for whatever reason you do not have this weapon, I highly recommend that you swap this out with a AR or LMG that has a high rate of fire. This one has 850 RPM, as you can see in the talent, with a 50-round mag. So that's available. And then I have the rock and roll shotgun with these stats as well. Personally, if you get the option, I think the best option here would be the stack broker, so that you will get the talent perfectly back and forth. And so the talent perfectly back and forth will give you additional bonuses, which I will show you here. The perfect stack broker, I don't know exactly what it actually rolls, but the back and forth talent shows is this. Swapping to this weapon grants plus 10% rate of fire and plus 9% weapon damage for 10 seconds. Swapping from this weapon grants plus 5% rate of fire and plus 4.5% weapon damage for 10 seconds. Receiving one of the bonus groups will remove the other if it's still active. 2 instances of this talent will not function at the same time, meaning, in short, you cannot have both of these actives at the same time. You can either get one or the other as you switch weapons. Um, Not only will it improve your overall damage with your primary weapon, but it also increase the rate of fire, which will again help you build those stacks for the Heartbreaker talent. We are, of course, running the specialization here. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head, but you all know what it is. And specifically, that is for the Link laser pointer. One thing about this build I want to bring to your attention while we are here looking at the weapon. I have plus 5 critical hit chance on the scope, plus 10 critical hit damage. I have the Link laser pointer down below to pulse the enemies. Then I have plus 20% rounds and 10% reload speed. And then I have the custom Lexington weapon skin. Now, the reason why this configuration is the way it is because this, I believe, will give you the maximum benefit of increasing your stats up to get you that 53% critical hit chance and the 91% critical hit damage. I think that's the best way to run it with this setup that I have here, because this way, not only will you start to crit more often because of the critical hit chance, but you'll also get the maximum amount of critical hit damage that you can possibly get here while you are looking at it. Of course, anytime you run any of these specialization, make sure that you are getting the plus 15% from your specialization chosen in the specialization screen, and then also make sure that you get the underbarrel attachment for that linked laser pointer. These are my stats here. You get the 46,168 armor regen, then you get the max health, of course, protection from elites, all the things, and then your standard 50% pulse resistance, and then the 20% hazard protection, as you can see here. I am also running this with the Reviver Hive to go ahead and give me an extra chance to get up in the event that I do go down. And then because I only have one skill tier, I think it's very important that you use a skill that you can really utilize that will actually give you some kind of benefit. I think the Fixer Drone is perfect in this scenario because not only do you get the plus 20% armor repair and health, and then you just kind of run these mod slots. I have the duration, armor repair, and then health right here. I'll also show you this here for the Hive, the Reviver Hive, duration, and the range. But not only are you going to get the benefit from the increased amount of healing that you get from the one skill tier, it also is going to feed more into your survivability here by feeding into giving you sort of a second way to sustain yourself through all the damage that you get. You'll notice that I'm running the 3 reds and 3 blues. I think that, again, is the best case scenario here because not only are you going to be able to take full advantage of the armor, the more armor that you have, the more bonus armor that you'll get, and the more potent the armor regen will be, the percent armor regen will be. But then you also will get the damage from the 3 red cores that you see there on the build. So many of you may be asking what modifiers I'm using. I am not. I'm using the modifiers in this season, but in the gameplay, I am not going to use the modifiers. The reason being is because I think that you should be able to, or actually I'm going to deactivate the modifiers. The reason being, and I'll go ahead and let you see the stats again. Still at 53% critical hit chance, 91% critical hit damage. The reason being that I don't want to use the modifiers is so that it will effectively future proof the build so that you'll still be able to go ahead and use this in the future for any season or whatever event that is going on. And then this will still be able to carry you through whatever it is that you are going through. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and show you some gameplay. Please feel free to leave your comments down below in the comment section. And before I go, one final thing. One thing I want to bring to everybody's attention. I think I see a lot of people running the Memento backpack on the Heartbreaker set or Memento in general. I think Memento backpack is best in slot for many builds, but not in this particular build because I think if you are going to use the Heartbreaker stacks, I think if you're going to use Heartbreaker, it makes the most sense to use both the chest and the backpack talent to not only increase your damage because this chest talent is going to give you, it's like the best in slot for the amount of damage you can get. No other random chest piece you are going to be able to slot in this is going to give you more damage than the actual chest piece itself. So it gives you that there. So I think that the chest piece is best in slot here. And I also believe that the backpack is also best in slot because if you're going to use the bonus armor for the set, it makes the most sense to lean into it. Not only do you get more bonus armor from using the backpack instead of you using it from Memento, but it just synergizes real well. And it also frees up the slot for you to be able to get the investor mask set up into this build, and you also don't have to run around and collect trophies. Not to mention that the Memento in this particular case, although it would be nice to get the weapon damage bonus that you would get from picking up the trophies and things, and you're going to get 30% skill efficiency. I think it's just kind of wasted in this case because, I mean, you only have one skill tier that added extra. While it's definitely going to help for sure, it's not really going to go real far given you're only using one skill tier here. And while you are able to make use of those individual trophies and things, that's only for a short term that you'll be able to take advantage of that if you're even able to get those trophies to begin with. So I think in this way, it'll still provide you that sustain that is needed in Heartbreaker, which I believe is a weakness of that. As I stated earlier before, not only are you going to be able to sustain through the damage using the bonus armor and then sustain your armor through using this mask, but you'll also be able to continue to damage the enemies and get back on your feet and recover quicker with the Fixer Drone using the one skill tier as well as the Reviver Hive. And then you still are taking advantage of that perfect synergy between 3 red cores and then the 3 blue cores. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and show you some gameplay. What's up, guys? It's Ultimate Shield back again. I forgot to mention why I have titled this video Perfected Heartbreak. One of the reasons why I named it that is to get you to click on the video. But jokes being aside, the other reason why I wanted to add that I think this is Perfected Heartbreak, or at least my version of it, is because not only is it meshes well with my personal playstyle, but I also think that every piece and every component of the build is as efficient as possible given what choices that we have available as far as gear and weapons and talents and things are concerned. So that's the reason why I wanted to go ahead and call it that build, or call it that for this build. So as you see me kind of start off this engagement, this gameplay is going to showcase the build in action. I am going to give you a slight spoiler. We do not finish this mission. We all are going to wipe at some point. But I wanted to show you the capability of the build. That being said, you will also see my mistakes in the build, and I am not going to edit out what the mistakes are, just so that you are well aware of like what the good are, what is the good, what is the bad, and let you know that those of us who are on YouTube, we are not perfect, and I do not want to, give you any kind of false sense of hope. You are definitely not immortal with this build, but you definitely will have a high amount of survivability, including damage as well, given everything I've told you before. As you can see right here, I'm stacking armor on this Warhound. He is attacking me, but me and my teammates, we are able to go ahead and kind of burst him down. I was able to do quite a bit of damage on him. As you can see the numbers on the side, 750,000 damage per bullet whenever I crit, in addition to being able to survive. You'll also see all of this kind of going on. I was kind of limit testing as well. This was like I've been playing the build outside, but this is before video, I should say. But this is the first time I'm actually like putting it to actual like through its paces in legendary. So I'm playing a bit more reckless than I normally would, to not only limit test for my own self, but then also to show you exactly the survivability and things on the build as well. So as you can see, I am going to take that explosion. I am still at half health, and my drone is healing me in addition to the 3% bonus armor regen. You actually can recover very, very quickly whenever you take a lot of damage, as long as you don't play recklessly and you are wise with your position and things. You'll be able to pretty much dominate whatever it is that you want to go into. So in the next area, you'll see we actually will come up to basically where we wipe. Again, the purpose of the video is to show you the capabilities of the build and to really showcase what it can and cannot do. And this is one of the things that I will say that is admittedly a weakness of Heartbreaker of the build. One of the things that you'll notice as we continue, as we go through this engagement, is that not only is it a long range, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but the problem is that if you are basically tied down for an extended period of time and you're not able to build those stacks, Heartbreaker not falls apart, but you're at your weakest whenever you are either starting the engagement or the engagement continues to drag on and you kind of lose your stacks. I would say that's probably the weakest also of Striker as well, which is the the meta. But it is less of a build issue per se and more of a playstyle issue, because if you were to be a little bit more aggressive, there's definitely the possibility that you will be able to actually continue to maintain the momentum of both the damage and the stacks that you are going against with everybody else. As you can see, I am fully topped off in armor and all the things. I'm actually going to purposely stand here for the purposes of me being able to both get hit, and again, you will see how quickly I recover. I am like in cover, and you'll see right here I do sort of go down, which is the first mistake. I definitely should have moved, which I'm going to do here. But as you can see, you recover so quickly. Even my reviver, although my reviver hive is down, and my drone that is there to heal me is also down, I'm back to full health, back to building up stacks and everything there is to go ahead and do the engagement. And remember, this is on legendary, so in the event that you think, hey, I don't know how this build will hold up, this build is able to hold its own in legendary content. As you can see here, I'm going to take some damage right there. I am about to go down, but because I have such a high recovery and all the things, I am able to kind of get back into the fight. But unfortunately, I should have just waited just maybe a moment or two later before I went down again. So unfortunately, it was a mistake on my part. Like I said before, not only is it to limit test, but also to let you know what this build can and cannot do. Because I will say one bit of criticism I will have about just builds and build videos in general, and this is not a shot at any YouTuber or anything like that. This is just an observation, really. I think that whenever we showcase builds and things, that we can always go ahead and point to, this is great, this is great build, blah 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 blah. But like, what does the build, like any build that you have in the game, there are some things that it does well, and there are things that it does not do well at. As you can see there, I do very well at being surviving, but and also doing a lot of damage. But whenever the fight is extended, as you can see, and I'm not building stacks, that is when Heartbreaker and subsequently this build is at its weakness. So I'm trying to use the shock ammo that I have to go ahead and paralyze him and switch, but unfortunately I switch over to my shotgun. No worries though, we're just going to go ahead and build stacks on this guy right here. Unfortunately, those stacks kind of went through again, and this is another weakness of Heartbreaker as well, where, say for instance, if you are trying to build up the stacks, you are not able to maintain that if you are also receiving a bunch of damage in return, and that's unfortunate. But because of how the build is set up, you're able to sort of circumvent that weakness. And as you can see, all that damage that we had put on that Chunga, he goes down pretty fast, and then his other guys come out. As you can see, we're kind of melting through them pretty fast, both as a team but also as an individual. Again, check the numbers on the side. We're doing quite a bit of damage and surviving point blank explosions due to not only our piece of gear and things. As you can see here, I am really limit testing here. I'm able to kind of bring it down as well as live through the day, and that's kind of where we are. And as you can see, doing a lot of damage to this Chunga here, big boy. And we're gonna put in a lot of effort and work, but we are going to go down. But that's the build. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think you like about the build? What do you not like about the build? You can even critique my gameplay again, limit testing and all the things. Either way, I hope that you enjoy. I hope that you use the build. This is Ultimate Shield 340 signing off. Take it easy. Peace.